Hi, I'm no one in particular. I'm just a meerkat, but I love stubborn Joshi wrestling, so I asked my community from across my socials to comment a 90s Joshi match, and I added those matches to a roulette wheel like a Mayu Iwatani, and I named said wheel Wheeler. Let's spin the wheel, of course. No whammies.
The whole project will collapse.
Oh, it's Aja Kong versus Kyoko Inoue versus LCO in what is considered the final masterpiece of the golden era of AJW. Let's go! August 9th, 1997, the #1 song in America was I'll Be Missing You, back when Diddy was Puff Daddy. And fun fact, in March 2000, Puff Daddy would send a cease and desist to Japanese pop duo Puffy after performing in the US. So they changed their name to their now commonly referred to name of Puffy Ami Yumi, only for Puffy to change his name to P. Diddy after a gun and bribery trial. In films, today is the day Skynet went online for Terminator Judgment Day, but the #1 film in America was Air Force One, with Harrison Ford playing an action star president who went,
Get off my plane.
in exactly 4 days' time. Comedy Central would influence an entire generation's lexicon and edginess by releasing South Park. On this exact day in wrestling, WCW would release Road Wild, where Hollywood Hulk Hogan defeated Lex Luger to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, and the WWF champion at the time was Bret the Hitman Hart, still no WWF Women's Champion. Naturally, in Japan, AJW was nearing the end of what is considered the golden era in Joshi. The company went through several failed business ventures and then went bankrupt. More than half of their roster would quit to seek better opportunities, such as Neo Japan Ladies Pro Wrestling. Promoter Hiroshi Ogawa left AJW and took several of their top wrestlers, like Aja Kong, and would form Arsion, which would be a prelude to the eventual birth of Stardom. I would be remiss to not mention that in 7 days' time, Plum Mariko would tragically pass away in the JWP ring after taking a Liger bomb that triggered head trauma. After a series of injuries, concussions, and brain abscesses occurred in Plum, and she continued to wrestle through the injuries. It would be the first time a Japanese wrestler died in the ring, and it would be a wake-up call to many. I celebrate and glorify this era for what it is, for their wild rawness and insanity, but Plum Mariko is the reality of this style being pushed so hard, and how the lack of proper medical procedures, not just during this time in Joshi, but across the board in wrestling, led to a very preventable death. The style of this era was never a long-term one, nor a healthy one. It's not one I wish wrestling would go back to either, but it's still an era in Joshi that produced some of the greatest wrestling, and the performers deserve all the respect for the pure brutality they put themselves in. But we should always recognize the dark side of what this style produced. Today's match is considered the final masterpiece of the AJW Golden Era, featuring AJW teaming with Kyoko Inoue to face LCO in an absolute chaotic banger of pure Joshi stubbornness. Now, I don't know if it is the final masterpiece or not, but you definitely get it all here. The constant motion and constant hitting each other and chaos galore on the outside, the whole Wild West of the wrestling era vibes, all here in this match, because it immediately begins with pure madness and Korakuen Hall. LCO, or the heel bully act, who utilized their villainy to maximize potential against someone like Kyoko with those distinct faces of hers, while Aja Kong like. And then they full-on beat Shimoda to death, and it's so freaking awesome. It takes attempted murder to stop Aja. LCO was a team that I knew about prior to starting this series, but I never did a proper dive into their matches, but they are freaking awesome. They are taller than most of the women in this era, with Etsuko Mita being 5'8", but Aja don't give a shit how tall you are. And watch this chair shot. Goddamn murder. An Aja dance party. And here's Kyoko doing Kurt Angle before Kurt Angle. Signature tag team assisted dive. And then more chaos in Cork and Hall. And then Aja trying to murder someone again by tossing them from the second floor. And then Mita wraps the rope around Aja and tries to hang her in front of everybody. Jesus Christ. And then LCO destroying Kyoko for themselves, but oh shit, here comes Aja Kong looking like a psychopath about to murder everyone. Out comes the fire extinguisher to cover all of Cork and Hall with the fumes. There goes the fire alarm. See, it's the Wild West, people. Pure, stubborn Joshi wrestling with chairs and fire alarms ringing and Aja Kong being Aja Kong like. While the announcers try to recover like. And then look at this evil powerbomb. While this dude recovers still. Aja dumping the whole bottle of liquid over Shimoda to drench her and then beats her ass in the ring. This shit is bonkers, people. Absolute bonkers. This is one of those matches you can show a new wrestling fan who has either never seen wrestling, never seen Joshi wrestling, or never seen this era of Joshi, or they think that women can't wrestle at all. It's the perfect match to showcase the insanity, the pure rawness and chaos. I described it as grunge before, and that's exactly what it is. They're beating each other to oblivion. There's rawness, there's mistakes, there's awkwardness. They're being innovative while doing so as well. Just excellent stuff all around. Eventually, Shimoda spits one of my favorite moves ever, the Poison Mist, onto Kyoko Inoue, and then Mita with her signature tall woman chops. Kyoko has to hurry now and defeat her before the poison drains her completely, but LCO takes out Kyoko like. Kyoko manages to tag out to Aja, and she turns Super Saiyan. But LCO manages to beat down Aja Kong, hit their tag team finisher fully with the splash to go along with the electric chair. But Aja Kong kicks out of that, so Shimoda up top for the super chair shot to the head. Now Aja can just destroy. They start landing everything on each other. Germans, drivers. This woman tapes Kyoko to the ropes while Aja doesn't give a shit. Instead, brain busters the living fuck out of Shimoda onto these chairs. So Mita like. God, that might be one of the worst Death Valley bombs I've seen. Damn, that's crazy. Kyoko has to save the match and punish the big woman with a powerbomb onto the same chairs. This is freaking madness. No, this is Joshi! Just an insanely chaotic match to represent what this era of Joshi was all about. What is considered to be the final masterpiece of the Golden Era. I don't know if this is the final masterpiece of the Golden Era, but it's a hell of a match to watch. Now let's spin Wheeler and see what next week will bring us. There are now 6 whammies, people. No whammy. Oh, it's Chapelita Lasari versus Ria Tamada for the WWA Super Lightweight title in AJW 1996. Chapelita finally. Let's go. And don't forget to recommend a match you'd like to add onto the wheel to always remember of the dream of the 90s still existing in Joshi.